Distillery back in April 11, 2018. So whenever we start, are you going to be paying me for this?
No.
Big tip.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's just
So we started out as a bottling facility back in St. Louis, Missouri in 1958 as David Sturman Corporation. So it was owned by our founder's grandfather and father-in-law.
Right.
So he actually joined the business back in the 80s, and then that's whenever production started to increase, and we really started acquiring some of our brands over the years at that time. So that's going to be our Ezra Brooks, Rebel, David Nicholson, and Davis County brands.
Okay.
And then whenever his father passed away in 2006, so he went through the rebranding of the company. So our parent company's name is now LUX Co.
Right.
So then around in 2012, when they came around, when bourbon started to get really popular again, that's when they started to think like, well, we have all these other distributors making our products, we can now build our own distillery, produce it ourselves, and really be a full functioning distillery. And then it can add on some more, like now we also have our tours and stuff to go through our facility. So we ended up acquiring this land here from Bardstown in 2016, broke ground, and then started the construction here, and that's whenever we opened in 2018 to the public.
Right.
Yeah.
How many acres do y'all have?
90. It's gonna be about a 90-acre facility and still growing, because right now we only have 6 warehouses on property right now. We're gonna end up having 10, but I always say by the time we end up having 10, we're probably gonna be increasing, so we'll end up having maybe 15, and then going from 15 and going up to 20. But it's just to try and keep up with demands, because it's more of our name is getting out there to the public and being known out there on the market. It's like we're gonna have to increase production and capacity here. So especially with our fermenters, we're actually adding 14 more with that construction process off to the side. So we currently have 12, we'll end up having 14 once that process is complete, and that's going to increase our bourbon production from making about 3 million gallons of bourbon a year to then 6 million gallons once that process is complete.
Awesome. What's impressive when you walk up? The building is beautiful.
Yeah, and especially because it's like when you drive through that roadway and you just go through the rows of trees, it's like it takes part of the inspiration on the name Lux Row, because Lux is taken from our founder's last name, and then Row is involved with all the things, not only just with the rows of trees you drive through, but it's like everything when you go through the bourbon industry involves rows, where it's like all the rows of corns and grains that you're collecting, all the rows of barrels you see in the warehouse, and then finally just kind of clicked there whenever they came up this driveway and going through that rows of trees just to get onto the property. So that's where the name Lux Row comes into.
Wow. Thank you.
You're welcome.